Hey folks, I'm back again. Just got a few thoughts on the school renovation project that is still being discussed. I attended a meeting last week at Brown School, where they were asking for public input, and then later on there was another 2 hours worth of meetings with the facilities committee. And I just have to tell you, it feels like, at least to me, that I must be in an alternate universe here. To say that I'm dumbfounded and confused by what I saw and heard at these meetings doesn't even come close to the way I really feel. I left that meeting just sad, I guess would be the best way to say it. I just left feeling bad for all the people, on that committee. Because I guarantee you they're all great people. I mean, they're volunteering just enormous amounts of time, and this has been going on now 4 or 5 years. Okay? The fact that they're still putting forward a plan that's going to be in the $50 million range, to me is just, I can't even address how insane that is. There's a better chance that I'm going to get a call this week from Bill Belichick and say, hey Jay, I need a left tackle. Why don't you come on down out of Foxborough, would you? There's a better chance that that's going to happen, okay, than there is that if they ever put another proposal up for vote that even approaches $50 million that it will pass, okay? The last one was destroyed by a 3-to-1 vote, and that was before our financial markets fell into complete chaos, okay? I mean, this is just self-evident, okay, to go to the taxpayers of South Portland and ask them to pony up the full $50 million it's going to take to renovate a school that, while admittedly needs work, I've been in it, it needs work. I am not one of those people that says, screw it, those kids are fine. When my day, I walked a mile uphill to school and a mile uphill home. I mean, I'm not that kind of guy. Look, I mean, it needs a bunch of work. But it doesn't need $50 million worth of work. And the fact that they cannot produce a priority list of the things that need to be done, to me, is just irresponsible. And when you talk about the priority list, there's always an answer. Well, we can't do that because there's asbestos here, and once you pull a string, there, then it leads to something else. And everything in their mind is impossible short of a complete overhaul, a complete renovation that totals almost 300,000 square foot of school. And while they have grudgingly pulled out the new gym and the turf field, they still can't seem to understand that the people in South Portland aren't going to vote for this kind of renovation and pay for it on their own. Now, when you read about these other schools, like in Falmouth, building a $46 million elementary school, and Hampton is building a new school, if you read those articles closely, what you'll hear is that the state is funding 80 and 90% of those schools, okay? Now, what we heard at this meeting, which I was very grateful for, Mr. Carter, the leader of the school board, stood up and said, which I thought took some courage on his part. He said, listen, we're never going to get any state funding. We're not. So let's just be clear about that right now. South Portland has got a tax base that is large enough that it drops all the way to the bottom of the list in terms of requests for help from the state of Maine to build schools. So any discussion that is going on here around building the new school needs to go forward with the understanding that we're never going to get dime one from the state of Maine. Okay? Now, even with that information, which in fact I think everyone on the committee already knows, but at least Mr. Carter brought that to the attention of the people there that were from the public who didn't know it, it doesn't make any difference. The committee soldiers on with the working on the plan and redesigning the school with the architects who are there in attendance, as if they're going to put forward another plan, to quote Suzanne Godin, says we'll be happy if we get a 4 in front of it, which means in their mind if they get a $49 million proposal they're going to be thrilled. And I guess that's okay. It doesn't matter. It'll be voted down. Okay? They aren't listening to the people in the community. Plain and simple. And my view of it is they back themselves into a corner again. It's just like the redistricting thing. They back themselves into a corner. They make up their mind before they start. They make up their mind what they're going to do, and then they invite the public in, hopefully to gain support for their ideas. Not, don't invite in the public to see or to get them involved in what we should do. They bring them in to try to sway them to support what they want to do, okay? And that's just a bad idea.